One more time, audacity. This is my favorite one. Audacity informs and inspires. You have to be bold in order to give a speech that's going to last. How many of you guys experience fear when you speak? Like lock your elbow and be honest with yourself. How many of you guys experience fear when you speak? Fear of an opinion of other, fear of being criticized, fear of not being good enough, fear of tripping up on a word, fear of what you look like, fear of, are my shoes tied right now? Fear of, does my belt look right? Fear is, are they judging me in the corner? Fear is, does somebody want the food more than they want to hear my presentation? Honestly, I need the hand to go up. This is for you. Like, sit with you. We're trying to learn how to give a transformative public speech. We know that fear drives most of us. And I'm here to tell you that audacity is what you need. Boldness is what you need. If you want to deliver something and absolutely be transformative, I'm passionate about this. I believe this because I live this. I'm telling you, you have to be bold. You can't half step into your presentation. You have to be bold. You cannot half step into your presentation. And one of the ways in which we do that is we deliver a story. Everybody say story. Story includes power. Stories are powerful. They're the most powerful thing that you can do when you open your mouth because the brain operates in pictures. And a story has the ability to paint the picture in the mind of another individual. Right? They did a study about TED Talks. In the top TED Talks, I'm talking the million hits, the top TED Talks, 85% of them were story-centric. Stories can be crossed over to any industry at any time. Whether you're telling your personal story, whether it's Martin Luther King delivering a speech, whether it's a president of a country, a story is the thing that has time sit and lets you go like this. Story. How many of you guys understand and know that when you listen to a story, something in the mind changes in terms of how you think of time? How many of you guys know that? When a story hits, there's something that happens. It's like when you sit in the theater and you're about to watch a movie and you go and sit down, right? And at the beginning of the movie, right? The clips, everything, the previews are on. At the very beginning, you're aware of the popcorn's right out there. I parked out there. Look at the lights that go down the rows. I see that person right there. Right? You're aware in the beginning. And then in the first 10 to 15 minutes, what happens? If it's a good movie. What happens? You what? In the what? You're in the zone. You go like this. And you can't think of anything else. And then the movie stops and it goes, and you're like, oh, it's time to go home, right? I'm being serious. A presentation is the same thing. And what does that is a story. Everybody say story. A story is powerful, right? Never tell a story without making a point, but never make a point without telling a story. Like, use the story to drive home what you're trying to do. It crosses every industry, anything that you want to do, a story will get you there. Guys got me? So this is what a story is. S. Everybody repeat after me. Simplify. Oh, a little bit more energy. Everybody say simplify. Simplify your message. And what that means simply is your presentation should be, I don't care how long it is, you should be able to say the entire thing in a sentence. Got me? This is the rule. Your entire presentation, whether it's a 90-minute keynote or a 30-minute presentation, you're in your job and you have to present to your colleagues or you're trying to get a new job, I don't care what it is, you should be able to condense for you in one sentence what it is. I remember when the TED people came to me and they said, you know, you have an opportunity to give the speech. I said, great. I was like, man, I've been teaching at Princeton University networking principles for 3 years, twice a month, hour keynotes for 3 years, then wrote a book on that content. How much time are you going to give me? They're like, that's great. You got 8 minutes. I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. I need more time. They're like, my fault. You got 9 minutes. Right? When you're thinking about that TED, there's these amazing people doing incredible things that have 15 minutes to tell you a span of 50-year studies. Right? So everybody repeat after me, simplify. If it's longer than a sentence, it's no good. Make sense? Number 2, everybody say after me, testify. This is story, right? Testify. Give a personal example if you can. Make yourself a part of your presentation. Find it. We got smart people here. Make yourself, interweave yourself into the presentation. Something personal. Because something happens when somebody's talking about themselves in a really humble or real way. You listen. You learn, you listen. If I'm talking in this kind of like this esoteric, this way, you can get bored. But if I'm talking in a way that you know I'm telling my truth, you're in there. Make sense? Testify. Everybody say testify. Testify. Number 3, organize. Everybody say organize. Very simple, but you'd be surprised how many people don't do this. A story has a beginning, and a story has stick to that. You'd be surprised how many people have stories who have a beginning and a middle. And they're just like, well, I guess we're going to wrap it up sometime here. So what do I mean by that? Organize is reverse engineer what you're telling. Start with the last point that you're trying to give and work backwards. Make sense? That makes sense? Say yeah. That makes sense? Say oh yeah. Cool. R. Everybody repeat after me. Repeat. Recite. Repeat. Recite. Recall. In your story, if it's 2 points, 3 points, every talk that I give, usually I'm stuck with the 3 points. And what I've learned is recall and repeating your 3 points is how you make a message stick. Simple. It's simple. And recall it multiple times. First A is what? Ooh, ouch. First A is what? Second A is what? Awareness. Third A is what? Audacity. First A is what? Authenticity. Second A is what? Awareness. Third A is what? Audacity. Man, you went to that speech by Isaac, I didn't get to make it, but what was he talking about? What would you say? What would you say if somebody was like, what was that?
Authenticity, awareness, and audacity.
Give him a round of applause. Give him a round of applause. Many people have incredible speeches, incredible content, but they don't put it in a way that can be repeated. Right? So the idea here is, how can I make my presentation in a way that it can be repeated at a kitchen table? So somebody was at dinner and they said, hey, how was that? What was it? What was that TED Talk about that Isaac gave? Oh, he was talking about the wishbone, the jawbone, and the backbone. That's it. When he delivered the talk, he said, wish for it, state what you want. Then he said, jawbone, ask with competency and humility. Then he said, backbone, persist through the failure. Scene. Right? Recite, recall, repeat. Everybody, one more time. Recite, recall, repeat. When you do those 4 things, number 1 is when you simplify your story, make it 1 sentence. Number 2, when you testify, when you put yourself into the story. Number 3, when you organize and make sure you have a beginning, a middle, and an end to what you're talking about. And last but not least, when you make sure that you recite, recall, and repeat, what you do for the audience is you leave them yearning for more. You leave them yearning for more because it's so concise and straightforward that it felt like a conversation instead of me talking at you. Does that make sense? If that makes sense, say yeah. That makes sense, say oh yeah. I'm trying to give you guys the most blatantly transparent, best stuff I know, because for me, it's about delivering content that works for you. So as you're sitting here and you're thinking about your own work, your own job, the things that you've been able to do, I still want you to understand that you telling your story can do incredible things for you. Make sense? Okay, those are my 3 points. And I wanted to close in a different way. I wanted to get a little bit transparent. Because you guys know I'm a motivational speaker. Like that's my thing. So to deliver the content is one thing, but I want everyone to, like for me, what gives me satisfaction is knowing that you can take the content from today and apply it immediately. And you feel my passion behind it. Because I truly believe that if you can deliver a message, you can transform your life. Because right now I see it in my own life. Like I see it in my own life. I literally see opportunities coming to me that I never thought possible. Like I didn't even know you can get paid 5 figures for 90 minutes because you can speak well. I didn't know that, right? And I didn't know that my ability to tell my own story can inspire and influence others. So having the opportunity to do this today, I'm really encouraging each and every one of you to take this to heart. Like I'm presenting, but I want you to take this to heart. Like where you are right now, being able to tell your story can do something incredible for you, but you have to take action on it. Like you got to do it now. Like there has to be something in you that says, I'm going to make this happen now. Like this isn't just a game where I come and talk and maybe have some fun. Like maybe, can I get a hand? Has anybody feel like the program they're in right now that they want to get something from it? Like they said, I went to get an MBA and maybe I'm taking care of kids or maybe something else is going on in my life. But right now, I need this to work for me. Can I get a hand? Like I need something from this program that really allows me to take my life to the next level. Like I'm not just trying to play a game. I really want transformation for me. And what I've learned just in my own experience, remember I'm not a master of public speaking, but I'm an experienced student. I've learned that if you could tell your story, you open up doors of opportunity that otherwise would not be able to open. If you could tell your story, you open up heavy doors that couldn't open if you didn't know how to open your mouth. Like I need to hit one person real. You know what I mean? I know somebody knows what I mean. Because I'm living it. I'm not like, hey, public speaking. I'm like, yo, this is happening for me. This is crazy. This is a million views. I didn't know that. I didn't know that could happen for me. And the crazy part about it is it can happen for you. The crazy part about it is our ability to, what's the first A? To be authentic in our story. Our ability to, what's the second A? Be aware of the people that we're talking to. Our ability to, what's the third A? To have the audacity to be bold. That makes us different. That's what makes us different. I'm not talking from anything but passion for you to be the best version of you that you can be. That's it. That's literally it. I just want everybody in this room to win. And I know the only thing that I know right now on my journey is that if you have the ability to tell your story with passion, to inform the mind and inspire the hearts of the people around you, if you know your story well, I don't care what industry you're in. I don't care how old you are. I don't care what adversities you've been through. I don't care how strong your accent is. I don't care how many degrees you have or don't have. I don't care how many marks society has put on you because maybe you're a single parent or maybe you have this, maybe you have that, maybe you don't come from much. That all goes to waste when you know how to tell your story. I'm walking proof. Man, I'm tired. You guys feel me? Right? That's the point that I wanted to leave, is that if you take this to heart and take action on it now, some amazing things can happen. Thank you, guys.